Okay, first time say all praises glory, now to see how about Shemal Shah about Shemdal Kudash. I get double honor to elders, apostles, and teachers, great medicine from Allah and the truth. I say Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. And I'm gonna center this on the draconian. I'm not sure what I'm gonna title this video, but it's gonna be centered on the ruthlessness of your leader, Donald Trump. You know, the guy who the people thought was the savior of America. And you had the elders that make sure Donald Trump is likely Nero. When you go into he embodies the characteristics of Nero. One of those characteristics being the fact that Nero was loved by the people at first, but then he started being an asshole and people started to hate him. And you see that in Donald Trump. And I'm going to gear this more towards that big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump is proposing, which a lot of that centers around the cutting of medical services, Medicare, Medicaid, for a lot of senior citizens, a lot of cutting of these different types of medical institutions, and budget cuts. And where is that excess money going to go? It's going to go likely to Donald Trump and his cronies. And I was just watching a few videos going into this, and you had one of these reporters that mentioned the term draconian. How, it's draconian to take all of this funding from people who need it, from elderly, and from these other programs that all of these people rely on. But this is something that we all told you, that what draconian measures, dragon, harsh and stringent, unrighteous, evil, oppressive fucking decrees. And this is what you all get for trusting in America, for trusting in Egypt, especially you Jakes, because you got a lot of because Section 8 is going to be affected as well. You already got videos. There's this one nigger bitch who's talking about how I think her snap went from like a couple $100 down to $85. She talked about how she was going to steal. She was going to start stealing because you lazy, stupid, a lot of these lazy, stupid whores don't work. But that's what you get for trusting in the shadow of Egypt. It's Revelation 13 and 11. And this is talking about, this chapter is talking about Esau's power structure, with the latter part of it talking about America. Or most of it's talking about America. But and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth that had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. And that's referring to your your American two-party political system. There's other smaller little parties, but the two major parties are the Republican and Democrat Party, that appear as if they want to help people, but when you actually get down to the details, they're fucking the people over, and they've been doing it for forever, and they don't intend to help any of you fucks. And once again, this whole thing with Donald Trump is proof of that, because he talked a big game, how he was going to help everybody, he was going to make America great again. But here it is, see what a lot of people fail to realize, that Donald Trump is going to make America great again for him and his friends. He doesn't give a flying, swinging fuck about any of you people. None of them do. But y'all are going to have to learn the hard way. But going to draconian, those harsh, fucked up, twisted, evil measures and laws that so-called white man puts out, such as like this. Taking all of these programs that people rely on, and go fucking cutting the budget, or just getting rid of them altogether. Because you had a lot of people that were in these government positions, that were in these healthcare organizations, that lost they lost their fucking jobs. Which, once again, he's downsizing on these these healthcare programs. I might have to come back with a part 2 to this. But Isaiah 19:4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord of hosts. And once again, a cruel and fierce king, Lord, fierce king, that puts forth unrighteous decrees, such as cutting funding. Once again, that's for what I've seen so far. This is only a proposal. They haven't put the shit in the law, but this is what they want to put. That's the cutting back of like these healthcare programs it's a big fucking part of that bill from what I've seen so far. And where is that money, excess money, going to go to? It's going to go into the military. Trump already said that a couple of years ago, how he was going to cut Medicaid and put it into the military. It's going to go into the military. It's going to go into these niggas' pockets. All of you people were warned that this type of shit was going to happen. But hey, once again, y'all, especially you Americans, y'all are gluttons for pain. It's Isaiah 30:1. Woe to, and especially, and that goes double for you Israelites, you 2/3 dumbasses. Woe to rebellious children. Because you know what? Instead of talking about this, because these things are now things that are now very much affecting your lives, all the Americans' lives. Because there may have been a point in time where certain things were happening around the world, they didn't really hit Americans, but now once again those chickens are coming home to roost, and these are things that are starting to affect the Americans' lives. Starting with price hikes in your goods and services, and now the reduction in the amount of funding you can get from assistance you can get from your government, for which a lot of people rely on. Pressure from above and pressure from below, getting squeezed, like the other Apostle Hart said a couple years ago. And it's hitting Jake. It's hitting everybody, but it's hitting Jake. Woe to rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked to my mouth. That go down to Egypt, aka modern day Egypt, which is America, for help instead of going to the Lord. That goes to Egypt for guidance instead of going to Yahweh Shemal Shah, that relies on America for all these benefits instead of relying on the being who gave America the capability to receive those benefits. To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and the trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust of the shadow of Egypt your confusion. There's another one. Let me see here. And instead of reporting on this, you got all these other Israelite weirdo niggas that's talking about fucking all this stupid nigga controversy and a bunch of faggot ass gay shit. There's a video that one of the older brothers put out on channel GMS Bible Defenders, going into how Al-Azhar was talking about some fucking weirdo ass, some controversy gay shit. And that's what the fucking Israelite boot camp. I don't know what the fuck IURC talking about. Nah, them niggas been quiet, or from what I've seen, they ain't come out really with no crazy ass bullshit this week. Like except one thing, but like even with that, it's like none of these niggas are talking about this shit that is prophesied and that very much affect everyone's lives. It's Isaiah 30:10-9. This is rebellious children, rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, to the prophets, prophesy not unto his right things, speak unto the smooth things, prophesy deceits. And this is the danger of wanting to hear lies and deceits and things that make you feel good. Because in the beginning, when you're having a great time, naturally, you're not going to want it. You're not going to want that mood spoiled. But now that you're in the very same shit that was prophesied that you didn't want to hear, now you're asked to fuck out. You have no idea what to do. Now you got niggas getting beat within an inch of their life, getting left on 1 HP, Dark Souls style, Elden Ring style. For those of y'all who know about them games, how brutal those fucking video games are, how them damn, and how the enemies in those games, how dirty and greasy they do you. Leave you on 1 fucking HP. Like old boy that got pistol whipped by an officer in IUIC. Literally left that nigga within an inch of his life. Broke his arm. He beat that nigga's ass. But that's what, and you got women getting forced to sell bottles of water, to all types of shit. You have that's what you have. Meanwhile, you got all that shit going on. You have this fucking shitstorm, which the Lord actually told us, because all these other things that these dudes are doing, the Lord didn't tell us to do any of this extra shit. But no, that's what y'all want. Y'all want the gimmicks. Y'all want the fun. And the fun is only fun while it's funning. Now it's time for judgment. Now all that fun ain't funning anymore. Now you niggas have been putting off the evil day. You niggas been saying it's not going to come. We got another 1,000 years. We got another couple hundred years. Now that shit is here. Y'all can't put it off anymore. Y'all can't say that, oh, the evil days aren't coming anymore. What do you think this? What do you think is going on? What do you think is going to happen with all these damn decrees and all this shit coming down the pipeline? Sure, it's a sunny day. It's hot, nice weather. Chicks walking around half fucking naked. But what about all this shit that's slowly sliding to the foreground? It's no longer that much back in the background. Verse 11, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And the Lord said, prepare thyself to thy battle. How? By seeking to him, gaining as much mercy and faith as you possibly can, and favor from the Lord as you possibly can. In preparation for what? For the evil day, for the times that you see going on and coming down the pipeline now. Verse 12, wherefore thus saith the Lord, Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Once again, our people have a wholehearted trust in the nigga who oppressed them, Stockholm Syndrome. And they refuse to turn their back on their slave master. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach, ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. There's another one that I wanted. It's probably in that chapter. Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So once again, trusting in America, whether it be your leaders, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, trusting in these niggas is going to backfire on you in the worst way. And what we went to women, the nigga woman who trusted in America, who trusted in the lifestyle, are about to soon get a fucking reality check. Because they trust in feminism, they trust in all this other bullshit the so-called white man pushed to them about being strong and independent. But you want to know the funny thing about that is that women have more money than men on average. They have more degrees than men. They have more, they're more likely to spend money and to buy fancy cars and to buy all this expensive shit. But the inverse, once again, the price of trusting in Egypt, women are swamped with more debt. They're more social creatures than men, which is why naturally they're going to seek more resources. They're more social creatures, which is why they want, going to seek relationships. Now you can um now that's a lot of them really don't want to do that anymore because they want money, right? And they want to do it with money, because even though they have more money than men on average, they also have more debt. So it doesn't really matter how much money women have, because if you have debt to counteract that, you really don't have any money at all. Like if you have, let's say you make $2 million a year, right? If you spend if your living expenses add up to $2 million a year, you're broke. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're swamped with debt, making 3 million, 10 billion a year, but you're spending 10 billion a year, sure, you're making 10 billion a year, but you're still broke because you're spending all of it. And that's the same situation that a lot of these high earning women are in. Not only that, but what it's not the vast majority of them don't spend their entire lives working. At some point they want to stop working and what see to a man with money. But all of that shit, because like what, in order to get money, you have to take on certain traits that men aren't looking for in women. So all that feminism, that equality, it all fucking backfires on them horribly in every way possible. You got a lot of them who have children. The men that they want don't want children, or don't want women with children. The high net worth men that they want, those men look for a certain type of woman, and it's not them. But they got it in their head that men want women with money. So that's a big thing. But once again, that's just with women, because they've pushed aside the only man that would actually deal with their bullshit. So now they're literally all on their own. They're really on their own now. They boxed themselves into a fucking corner. And what similar thing with the men? Because the men, they put in all this hard work. They make all these investments, 401k or whatnot, or they may be, some fucking influencer. But what happens when all this shit crashes? Because you can make as much money as you possibly can, as you want. It doesn't matter when the dollar goes on the fucking drain. No matter which avenue you try to take to be successful in America or in this world, it's all going to be for fucking naught. Once again, hence that trap and that backfiring. Trusting in America, getting a degree, nothing wrong with making money, but once again, the problem is that comes with you people putting your faith in America. Now that you put your faith in America, you think, hey, everything's going to be okay. The leaders are going to help us. Oh, no, they're not. They're taking all this funding away from these different governmental programs that people need. Oh, forced conscription to a war that your leaders started, and you have no choice what to participate in. And all these other things coming down the line that you people didn't think would happen. Because you thought you were in the greatest country in the world. All these protests and riots. Now read this one more time. This is going to be it. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust him. And that's really showcased with Donald Trump, because people looked at Donald Trump as a hero, as the last bastion of salvation. A lot of you niggas don't understand that it doesn't matter if you voted for Kamala or Donald. It's over. It's over.